Some decisions are made out of desperation, not choice. The job was never supposed to mean anything. 6 weeks. That was the agreement. 6 weeks working for the most ruthless billionaire in Manhattan and then disappearing without a trace. Simple, clean, survivable. Nobody warned her about Cassian Holt. The moment she stepped onto the 42nd floor, the air itself seemed to change. Glass walls stretched from floor to ceiling. Black marble swallowed every sound. Silence hung so sharp it could draw blood. And standing at the center of it all was him, Cassian Holt, billionaire, hedge fund king, a man who looked at people the way accountants looked at numbers on a balance sheet, useful until they weren't. He barely acknowledged her arrival. His voice, when it finally came, was calm in the most dangerous way possible. Deadly calm. The kind of calm that made rooms go quiet without effort. She told him 6 weeks. He looked at her slowly, the way someone studies something they haven't decided the value of yet. Then he said it. Let's hope you survive that long. She should have walked out right then. Working for Cassian Holt was its own kind of punishment. Every mistake earned his full attention. Every correction made the temperature in the room drop another degree. The employees feared him. The investors feared him. Even senior executives chose their words carefully whenever he entered a space. But she didn't. Something in her refused to shrink. She corrected him in meetings. She held her ground when he pushed. She looked him directly in the eye when everyone else found somewhere safer to look. And somehow, impossibly, he liked that. That was the first mistake. Because his attention, once given, never fully withdrew. Late nights became routine. Just the two of them in that massive office suspended high above Manhattan, the city glittering 42 floors below, like something from a dream that didn't belong to either of them. Sometimes he stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows for long stretches, saying nothing, watching the city breathe. Sometimes she caught him feeding the fish tank when he believed no one was looking. Small moments, quiet ones, the kind that cracked something open without permission. That was the problem with Cassian Holt. Underneath the control, underneath the coldness, underneath the reputation that made grown men step aside in hallways, there was still a man buried somewhere inside all of it. And the more she saw him, the more dangerous everything became. It happened after midnight. No employees, no meetings, no carefully maintained distance left between them. She should have walked away. She knew better. Every rule she had made for herself was clear. Keep it professional, keep it temporary, keep it survivable. But then his hand touched her waist, and every rule she had promised herself dissolved in a single breath. The kiss wasn't gentle. It was restrained desire finally breaking through every wall they had both spent weeks carefully constructing. Months of tension, of control, of wanting something neither of them had allowed themselves to name, gone in seconds. And when he whispered her name in the dark of that office, with Manhattan glowing silently below them, she understood with absolute certainty that there was no going back. Not from this, not from him. But billionaires like Cassian Holt don't fall in love safely. And men who have spent years controlling everything around them don't lose that control without consequences following close behind. The rumors started first. Then the whispers moved through the office like something alive. Then came the headlines. Who is the mystery woman beside Cassian Holt? The company watched them. The media watched them. His investors watched them. And worst of all, his enemies watched them. Because if anyone discovered the full truth of what had happened between them, she wouldn't simply lose the job she had taken to survive. She would lose everything. She had told herself 6 weeks was manageable. She had told herself this was temporary. She had told herself she would never allow him to matter. She had been wrong about all of it. She was already falling. And then she discovered the truth. The secret growing quietly inside her. The one thing Cassian Holt, with all his power and all his carefully constructed control, could never afford to publicly claim. A baby. His baby. And suddenly, everything that had felt dangerous before became something else entirely. Something permanent. Something irreversible. Their forbidden romance was no longer simply a risk. It was a reality neither of them could walk away from. This is the story of two people who were never supposed to matter to each other. A woman who took a job to survive and found herself falling for the one man she was warned to avoid. A man who had spent years building walls so high that no one had ever come close enough to see what was buried underneath them. A secret that changed everything. A love that neither of them planned for, and neither of them could outrun. My Boss's Forbidden Secret, a grumpy billionaire workplace romance by Lena Simon. Because sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do is let someone see you clearly. And sometimes the most irreversible thing in the world isn't a mistake at all. It's the moment you stop pretending you don't feel everything you feel. This is that moment, and it changes everything.